Hi, I'm Bill Miller, and this is David Redding, and from Murphy-Goode. I guess you take it away, a little bit about yourself. We'll drink some wine.
Yeah, absolutely. I got Dave. I grew up in Edina, which I refer to as the center of the universe, of course. Minnesota boy, moved out to California just full-time about 20 years ago. And after high school, Edina, I drove around the country and followed the Grateful Dead. And the end of the summer tour in '88 was in Berkeley, California, at the Greek Theaters.
Of course.
And I went up to see my father up in Healdsburg, California, where I live now, and he suggested that I get a job. And so I ended up working.
After how long of following did he suggest this crazy idea?
This was just kind of one summer tour. I ended up seeing the Grateful Dead about 175 times. There's not a lot of things in my life that I've done 175 times, but that's one of them. And I worked the harvest of '88 at Murphy-Goode, and then came back to Minnesota. Was going to school out here. Went back to the harvest again in '89 after the Dead tour, and then after that decided to get back, go to school full time out here. Was also playing music for a band called Mango Jam, which had a real good following here in Minneapolis, well, really in the Midwest.
Okay.
We played the Caboose every Sunday night for years. It was a great time in my life, and was working at a wine shop as well in Minnetonka, at the Tonka Bottle Shop, and did that in the early '90s, and then made it back out to California in harvest of '92. Moved to Australia for a while. Worked in McLarenville at a winery called Wira Wira, which I chose because of Bob Weir and the Grateful Dead.
I get that a lot from guys who get into the wine thing. They go to Australia.
Well, I'm a 23, 24-year-old kid with long hair going to Australia. It just seemed like the absolute right thing to do. And my father was very excited about it as well when we got the call that I had the job. And really had, it was one of the most spectacular time frames of my life, was being down there. People talk about Minnesota nice, and it's really true. You go anywhere in Minnesota, a bar, a restaurant, and you sit down, and whoever's sitting next to you, by the end of the night, it's like your best friend.
Right.
And you're going to get a phone call the next day, hey, we were talking about doing a barbecue. Well, how about tonight?
Right.
And you just do that, and that's what's so wonderful about this state, and the thing I miss most is in California people are obviously nice, but it's not that way. In Australia, it's really the same. I landed there after 30 hours of flying, and I stopped at a gas station, and the winemaker at the time picked me up, and we went to the gas station to get a Diet Coke. Well, the next day they put me in what they called the lodge, and it was just this steel building full of mice and these huntsman spiders, which look like tarantulas. Big, hairy spider crawling on the ceilings. You get used to it. Being in Edina, we don't allow mice and rats in the city. And so that was my first encounter.
It's just Edina, though.
Right. Well, the bubble goes
Center
up.
of the universe.
Center of the universe. And, so that took a little bit of transition. But the phone rings, right? This house, I'm there by myself. I find the phone, pick it up, dive. Yeah, this is Peter. We met at the gas station last night, and you were buying a Diet Coke. We have some friends going to the pub. Would you like to join us? I'm like, excuse me? Yeah, we met at the gas station. We met at the gas station. Well, sure enough, a bunch of people, they happen to know where I was living. This is a small town.
Right.
Because I didn't know where I was living. I'm like, I'd love to go.
But they want to see how long you're going to stay in that steel building.
Well, I wouldn't even know how to tell them to get to where I was because I didn't know where I was. Well, they knew exactly where it was. We're at the lodge, mate. Oh, okay. So they come. I have 10 new best friends. Right. And that's the great thing. So it was really, really wonderful. Loved it.
Nice. Okay, so then Australia?
Yeah, well, there's a long camel story at the end of that, and I was going to walk these camels from McLarenville up to Darwin because I hung out with this guy who took care of camels, and he was walking them up there, and he said, oh, it's going to take 3 to 4 months. I'm like, I got nothing to do. That sounds, can you get me in on this? Because I figure I get down to my original weight, with all that walking. 8 pounds, 6 ounces.
Between concerts though?
Yeah, I was in between the concerts. And so it's all lined up. I call my dad, hey, you're going to be so proud. I just got a new job. What are you doing? Taking camels to Darwin. Oh, that sounds really neat. How long? He said, sure, it's going to be like 3 to 4 months. You just walk them through the desert, the outback, right? Well, I'm going to be there Tuesday.
You're explaining this to him, and he's still saying, well, congratulations.
Well, he didn't realize it was, 3 to 4 months. He's not really sure how long it's going to take. Well, he ended up flying to Australia that next Tuesday.
To come get you.
Kind of grabbed me by the ear. Hey, we're going to fly around. You need to come back to California, and you need to start working full-time at the winery. So that's what I ended up doing. So I never did get to walk those camels.
Still feel a void in your life.
Yeah, well,
okay.
It's a shame that I didn't get to do that. I didn't remember seeing a lot of camels out here in Minnesota. There's got to be a song.
No, you might have missed your calling. But this is actually pretty decent, so you might have made the right decision.